Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Crushing Through Life podcast with your hosts, Rob and Jim. Visit us on anchor.fm/crushingthroughlife or follow us on instagram.com/crushingthroughlife. We're also up live on YouTube where you can watch us and talk through our episodes. It is May 18th, 2021. And as always, let's start off with today's quote. I believe the last thing I read at night will likely manifest when I'm sleeping. You become what you think about the most. Daymond John. Fantastic quote. We have a very special episode today for you guys. We are actually here with our wives.
Yep. Episode 20, we thought we'd bring the better halves on.
Took you long enough.
Yeah. Special episode.
Quite the milestone.
So just a quick introduction for everyone. This is my wife, Terri.
Hi.
This is my wife, Jessica.
And we just thought it'd be a great idea to bring on some new guests onto our podcast for episode 20. So Terri, if you want to give a brief introduction about yourself and what you do, and we'll do the same after with Jess.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys for having us on. I'm sure both really appreciate it. My name is Terri, and I've been with Rob for almost 15 years. We just had our 6-year wedding anniversary.
That's right.
And we've got one son together, which I know you guys have talked about a lot, but he is my world these days. I've been a stay-at-home mom with him, and he's about to start school, so that's going to be exciting for all of us.
This fall
In September,
Very
September
nice.
7th. He's counting down the days.
Yeah.
Right.
And then a little bit about me and what I do. I am a photographer. However, with things getting shut down a lot, I've had to put a pause on that. So I've been focusing on my relationship coaching. So I am branded under the Relation Chick name and logo. And I've got a book out. I've done some stage speaking for World Love Week. I've been on a few different podcasts. And really just getting going and trying to help people get through their lives a little bit easier.
Very cool.
All right. Perfect.
Nice.
And Jess?
Hi, I'm Jess. We've been together, almost 11 years now,
11 years this August.
and married
Amazing.
for
Married for 3 wonderful years. Almost 4.
yeah. About me, I am an ergonomics engineer, so I help to design workplaces for employees to make sure that they are, working in good body postures and not going to get injured while they're working. So mostly in manufacturing and warehouse spaces. So I think that's pretty cool. I worked for a long time to get here, to get where I am. Was in school for a long time. I got to mention that I'm a PhD. I'm a doctor. Super proud
Well
of that.
done.
So,
Well done.
That's basically my story.
It's pretty crazy, actually. For as long as Jess and I have been together, which she just says almost 11 years, for the beginning, I didn't know Jess outside of school until very recently, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, she worked really hard at accomplishing that.
That's awesome. And how did you get? Well, I think we should start with like a little bit of a backstory of how we both met. Why don't we go first, Terri? Do you want to talk about how we met?
Yeah, sure. So our story starts in high school, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Mostly the last year, I'd say. In grade 12, our circles of friends that we hung out with kind of really started to collide a lot more. So we started hanging out kind of by accident, I guess. And then like the summer happened and you were seeing someone and I was seeing someone. And then by the end of the summer, we were both not seeing anybody.
That's right.
And I happened, completely unknown to me at the time, I happened to end up in a Seneca course for my first year of college with my best friend. You guys talk about Greg at all?
Yeah.
He's
So
been
if you
mentioned.
guys-
He's
if
been
you
mentioned.
guys know Greg, I have known Greg for almost as long as Jim has. And so we started going to school together, and you guys had started your band.
That's right. Our band
I don't know if we really mentioned it too often, the old band, which is funny
good.
because Rob actually just played a clip of one. Gave us one of our songs in a group chat we were in.
That's right. Yeah.
Perfect timing
Surprisingly,
today,
I saw
but
that.
yeah, funny enough. Anyway, so you continue.
Yeah.
So Greg invited me out to see you guys play your first show,
Yeah.
and I asked who was in the band, and he said that you were in it, and I was like, "Oh, Rob, like, how's he doing? I miss him. Haven't seen him for a long time." And he's like, "Oh yeah, well, he's single, so maybe you could,
Wow,
work
what a guy!
Yeah, it was
What a hero.
definitely exactly those words.
Yeah, and
too.
for sure,
Yeah.
I can picture, and maybe a nudge he would
Yeah.
have done. He would.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, there was the elbow nudge. So anyways, we started chatting for a little while, and then for your 18th birthday, my parents were gone for the night, so I had like a massive party at my house. They know, so it's okay. I'm not like sharing any
I was going to say,
secrets.
as one would do when the
Wow.
parents are out of the house, all the
Yeah.
friends come over. Yeah,
Always.
Yeah.
And we continued to hit it off, and like a week later we were like, are we dating? I guess we're dating. Okay.
What are we
And
dating?
Yeah. Then we went to go see Alexis on Fire, and that was kind of like the solidification, and then we just decided to call it from his birthday.
Yeah,
Officially.
officially.
Yeah.
That's right. So Terry actually made me a cake,
I did.
which
Wow.
was the magic pull.
Full
over
circle
me.
moment,
Yeah,
eh?
full
Yeah,
circle.
yeah.
Considering the Mother's Day cake.
Yeah.
That,
Oh, the one I made for myself.
yes.
Yeah.
While somebody was napping.
Yeah. We briefly touched on that on the last episode that
Okay.
we have a new tradition now for Mother's Day. I get to nap.
It's exhausting getting up and making breakfast for your
It's
beautiful wife.
absolutely horrible. So, thank you for
You
letting me
love
nap.
it, man. I love watching you guys do your cooking videos together. It's always so
Of
fun.
course,
I know
of
you have a blast. So.
We do.
Oh, absolutely, we do, and get Nico involved, and
Yeah.
we make our banana chocolate chip pancakes, which he's always happy to stir the bowl
Mm-hmm.
and then run away.
Yeah. And he
But
comes
yeah.
to wake me up, Mom, pancakes,
Yeah.
and then he just runs. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right.
But yeah, I can't believe it's been that long. So since we're dating, it's been 15 years?
Almost. It'll be 15 this December.
15 this December. Yeah. How could I forget? It's on my birthday. So yeah, we've been dating since we're 18, man. Can you believe that? And we're 32, 33 now. It's
Yeah.
pretty wild. Yeah.
So kind of, obviously, so we're all the same age. I guess I should say, Terry, you brushed upon it, but you and I have maybe one of the longest friendships that I have. It's probably me, you, Mackenzie, Carlos, and then Greg. I think I met when I was 4. But other than that,
Mm-hmm.
the 4 of you guys are all together, like the oldest friends that I have, which is pretty cool. And Jess, I didn't meet until later, but the 3 of us, Rob, Terry, and I all went to the same high school, so we've known each other a pretty long time.
Mhm.
Jess and I have not known each other for. I guess
It's been a long time now.
Well,
Yeah, we're old
I
now.
guess. So
Yeah.
how did we meet then?
So we were neighbors in our student houses
Story old as time.
in university. Yeah, ancient story. And one of my roommates would always like go over and like party with the neighbors, and we were like, ew, the neighbor boys. And then they brought over some
me.
like cookies and brownies a couple times. Obviously Rob Buckner did. And then like one day I was just watching TV, and my roommate like pulled me out of bed, and she's like, you're coming over. And then lo and behold, my destiny was changed forever. Yeah.
For better or worse,
You
Met Jim.
sounded pretty happy about that. Yeah, we so Jess and I both loved kind of the same band. I remember she had the sweetest Nike shoes on, like the first time I met her, and we ended up talking about Brand New, and it turned out that we'd actually gone to see Brand New at the same concerts before. Like, not shockingly, they hadn't played a ton in Toronto, but it's like, oh, I was there too. And anyway, so we hit it off. I think my version of trying to get a girl to like me was by saying, oh, is that your car in the driveway? Perfect, you can take me to McDonald's.
And I did. And she did.
And she did.
And
It was, yeah, I remember we met. It was like probably maybe a week or two before your birthday, and then I took you to McDonald's on your birthday.
Yeah, so I guess we had known each other for over a year, and then
Yeah.
another surefire way. I don't know if I mentioned that I once had a hot dog bet with a friend, but eating 450 hot dogs on Twitch is another surefire way of getting yourself a beautiful woman. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's 2 for 2 on a McDonald's, car, and a hot dog.
I think we need to expand on that a little bit because I don't think our viewerships know what you're talking about in terms of eating 450 hot
So
dogs.
I had once made a wager with a friend that I could eat 450 hot dogs, all with a bun, on a bun,
On camera.
on camera in 30 days. So it was 15 a day, and this was right after or right before, I guess maybe 4 months later, Jess and I started to officially go out on August 1st.
Amazing.
And I chose August 1st because I wanted to remember the day, like the first of the month, easy as can be. Rob, yours is your birthday. Again, super easy.
Yeah.
Could've
And
messed
then
up.
soon after, like one of our first official dates, we went to see Holly Springs Disaster with literally all of your friends.
Yeah, so she met
And
all of
I
our
met
Carter
literally
friends.
all of your Carter friends. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I had met like a lot of you guys that came to visit us in university and stuff like that. But yeah, that was
Sometimes they
fun
don't
times.
get like, so when we say our group of friends in particular, we have almost all of us went to the same high school.
Yeah.
And we've been a family for 17 years. Some less,
Oh, yeah.
but they just joined. So having Jess come and meet the fam was a big step, and
Big deal, yeah.
so it was pretty cool.
So there were like
Yeah.
20 of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
for
all
sure.
going
I
to be at each other's funerals. Like you guys will be friends until the death, which is unreal because
Yeah,
I don't
they
have any friends that I've known like since I was that young that I know I'm going to have as friends when I'm 100 years old, and I know you guys
Right.
will all be there for each other, which is awesome.
Yeah, if we don't
Yeah.
kill each other first, that's the only way it'll happen.
You might.
Yeah, I think that is one of the most I think I don't know, I want to say I guess like happiest things that I remember from high school is that we had such a great group of friends that bonded over the same type of music. You mentioned Alexa on Fire, Holly Springs Disaster. Those are the types of bands that we in the GTA in Ontario, Canada listen to, right?
Yeah.
Very heavy metal, screaming music. And that it's actually what our band was. I was actually the screamer in our band during high school. Our band name was the Storybook Murder, and Jim was our bassist. We had Nick, our buddy Nick, on guitar. Greg, which whom Terry mentioned, was our drummer, and our buddy Steve, on a second guitar player. But those were like the greatest moments of our lives. Is like back in the day, like during. Did we played during high school too, right? Grade 12, or was it just
No.
was after high school we
I
started?
think it was because I was
Yeah,
in
I did.
another band, a Blink-182 type, if you will,
Yeah.
with also Greg and another friend at the time.
That's right.
And yeah, it was a like 3-piece kind of pop punk. We were awful. And
Yeah. But I still went to every show, Jim.
so I do it's just so crazy. But yeah, like you said, Robin, I mean the love of like bonding over music is such a cool thing. And I know, recently you've mentioned in a couple episodes that you and Terry will stream full concerts, and Jess and I, like we love. One year for our anniversary, she surprised me by Brand New was playing in Michigan. So she just said, I'm not telling you where we're going, but bring your passport. And actually, that was a funny story. How
Figured it out.
we've been dating? Yeah, I figured it out right away. I'm like, I looked up Brand New concerts, and it was Michigan. So I was like, okay, it took me maybe an hour to figure it out. But I think it was have we been dating 5 years?
I
at the
want to
time?
say 5 years, yeah.
So we drove. It used to be a Facebook post of mine. We drove through the border, and the security guard,
The border agent.
Sorry, this was on the way home, I think.
On the way there, yeah.
Was
Going
it?
into America.
No, I thought it was on the way home because America's always harder. On the way back, the guy was like 2 questions, and then we were good.
Yeah, so
Either way.
Yeah, so going to America.
going
she's
to America.
No, I'm saying on the way back when we were from America to Canada. Anyways, here we 4 wonderful years almost. Anyways, the border patrol for whatever country it would be, he Jess is driving, so he takes our passports. It's like, how do you two know each other? And Jess is like, oh, we've been dating for 5 years. And then he just like, he looks in and he's like, when are you gonna lock that down? And then he handed us back our passports and we drove through. Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's
Wow.
yeah, that's the love of music is really cool, and it's kind of, I think it also keeps you together. You know, it's just something in common, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. And like this weekend we celebrated our 6th wedding anniversary. It was
Congrats.
actually
Yeah, very
thank you
congrats.
very much.
I was saying
Thank
to Jim, it felt so soon. Like I remember being at your wedding and felt like yesterday. Like
See,
Yeah.
for me, I thought it felt like I was shocked. Obviously, you know, 6 years makes sense, but I was shocked that it kind of wasn't, that it was only 6 at the same time, because your son's 4 years old.
Yeah.
And I thought there was more of a gap, and and actually, like, you know, we've been married almost 4 years, and I thought you guys were the pioneers of our group.
yeah, you're the
You know,
first
you were the first ones to get it done, and
Yeah.
you know, so it's really cool to watch you go through that, and then, you know, kind of reach out to you for questions later on, you know, when it was our turn. And yeah, I thought, you know, it makes sense, the math makes sense, but for some reason, to me, it's just, you guys have just always been, you know, been married.
Yeah.
I don't know, in a nice way. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
yeah.
I totally get what you mean, though, because since we have been together so long in total, it is kind of weird that we've only been married for 6 years. But again, at the same time, it does feel like that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
That like we
it's
did
both.
that and we got married and had the big party and everything. Like it's such a weird mix of both long and short.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we celebrated our 6th wedding anniversary this weekend. It was on Sunday, but we decided to celebrate on the Friday because we actually had a martini kit that was shipped to us, and did a live mixology thing with a bartender on Zoom.
Oh, that's so
And
fun.
Wow, that's awesome.
That was a lot of fun. The whole day we're talking about it, and Terry was like, you know, we should dress up. We should put something on, and the whole time I was like, nah, whatever. Who cares? let's just why can't we just do it in our PJs? You know, like. But she was absolutely right in getting dressed up. She put on this amazing dress. She looked fantastic. And then right when I saw her, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll go put on a shirt.
So like I'm there, dress, makeup, hair, and he's like, I guess I'll put on a shirt that buttons up. He's still got shorts on.
I gotta have the basketball shorts. It gets hot, you know, when you're drinking martinis.
That's my understanding of martinis.
Yeah.
You have to dress for the top and then prep for the heat in the bottom.
Yeah. So we had the whole kit, man. We had the shaker kit. We had the jigger, the spiral spoon thing. The first
all the terminology, eh?
Yeah, you know. The
What'd you
first martini we made a dry martini. It was I had mine dirty with an olive, and you just had it.
I had a little bit of lemon in it because I knew there was no way I was going to be able to drink it.
Yeah.
And we were using vodka, not gin. So it was just vodka and vermouth. Yeah.
So how does it work then? So he, like, the guy, does he show you a couple of different martinis to make, or does he just hang out with you while you drink like a full martini, and then you're like, all right, buddy, we're ready for round 2?
It's like
just on call.
It was a service where like they ship you a kit.
Yeah.
Right, and then you hop on the Zoom call, and then there's a bunch of people with you, so it's not just one-on-one. It's a big group session, and he just goes through the whole thing, and then you can stop and ask questions and all that. But yeah,
he does do the 2 back to back. You know, he'll be like, if you downed it, I don't judge you, but if you haven't, we're gonna make the second one now.
So down.
The second one. The second one was a fruitier one. It was like an orange. It was actually pretty good. It was made with like a orange marmalade. Like you put marmalade in it with triple sec and shake it up and all that. Yeah,
that's it. Ooh for me.
Yeah, I talked to I talked to Nick, our buddy Nick, afterwards about the martinis that we made, and he's like, "That sounds horrible. I would never drink that."
So I always talk about how picky I am, but usually with drinks, I'll try anything because
if it has alcohol in it.
Well, it's more like even just a regular, like, when you have smoothies, I'll try it because for me it's the texture of food that I don't like a lot of the time. But with drink, it's all usually the same.
Yeah.
Sort of texture. Like obviously certain smoothies or whatever are a little thicker, but yeah. So I mean that's really cool. So you liked which one better, the first or the second, or did you sample a third?
Second
was better. The marmalade
the first
one.
was way too strong. I had to water mine down a little bit. The other one was at least enjoyable to drink. So we had like 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah, I think this is the dirty martini I made. It was actually like very pungent the first sip. It was like, whoa, it was like getting shot in the nostrils. Stings the nostrils.
Yeah. Made with bits of real panther.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
After I would say after like the third or fourth sip, it was starting to go down easier. It was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Well, you
and,
burned off all your taste buds.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
And then I'm a huge fan of olive, so just having that olive at the end was fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you like olive stir?
I do not. I am not a fan.
There's the olive theory in How I Met Your Mother is that one of the couple likes olives and the other doesn't, and therefore eats the olives of the person who doesn't.
And that is how we work it. And I think the same is to be said for cilantro, because he likes it and I don't.
Love cilantro. Do you guys like cilantro?
I do.
So the olive theory for us applies to also bananas, strawberries, watermelon. There's a lot of things that I do not like and Jess likes.
Yeah.
So
you don't like watermelon?
No, I don't like fruit. Apples, fine, and then green grapes,
maybe.
Wow.
Depending on the day, and maybe twice a year.
And that might be. And then I've had blueberries, but it's more of like a health thing. I'd rather swallow a blueberry whole for the health than like eat. I don't like gushers. Remember the fruit? Gushers.
Yeah, they were so bomb,
and it ruined fruit for me because it was kind of like I don't want something to just, I don't know, bite
exploding in your mouth.
Yeah.
Nothing gave you that right.
But yeah, we had the martinis, and then after the martinis we watched Carnival, which is a band from Australia, and they're amazing. They're really, really, really good, and they put out this amazing live stream concert that was pre-recorded, but it was like properly mixed and edited, and the visual effects were all there. But they performed. It was actually kind of like artsy because they performed in front of in a concert hall with no one in the audience. There was just the shots of empty seats, which was very eerie.
Actually, fun fact, the name of the concert hall that they performed in was named after Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger Concert Hall in Australia.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
One of Terry's...
he was my grow-up crush for
sure. I was going to say crush for sure.
He was mine, too. He was so good. Him and 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
And A Knight's Tale when he's like literally steaming off the horse.
Yeah.
So Saturday we ended up recovering, and our little boy, we always laugh at this, like every time we have a night together, we're indulging some adult beverages,
some wobbly pops, if you will.
Yes, he's actually an angel the day after, and we always have this running gag, like every time that we just wake up and we're just like a little hungover, our son is like absolute the best, like doesn't bother us too much. Does his own thing.
Yeah, we had the ongoing joke that he's our roommate now because he is fully like potty trained and everything.
Yeah, he's pretty dependent.
So there have been days where like we'll be playing Xbox or whatever, and he'll just get up and go use the washroom and take his phone to his room and close the door. And we're like, the roommate, we're bothering the roommate here.
He's like a teenager.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Sunday, the actual day of our wedding anniversary, we just ended up spring cleaning, man. Yeah. We just went buck on this whole house, and it was really bad. Like,
it was so dusty.
Yeah, living in the filth, man, for all throughout winter. It was just like it just got to us. We just had to get down and get this place
down to business.
Get down to business. Get this place clean.
So let's define spring cleaning, because for us, like, I don't know if I guess we kind of did spring cleaning. Like, it would imply certain things that we only are doing once a year.
Yeah.
I don't really want to make a list of this. Maybe we should define it. I don't know. But I was just curious, like, what that is for you guys.
For example, so because of where we live, it's still like the construction paint, so it's very chalky and dusty and just kind of gets everywhere. So all of our cupboards just have like this fine film of white paint dust.
Yeah,
on
like
them.
our paint, the paint that they use in our unit is like very base coat construction basic paint, and it's like literally you can rub your hands on it and like there's like white paint on your fingers. It's just so chalky.
Oh, wow.
But mixed in with like our running humidifier that we run through the winter time, it just I guess it
Kinda
just
settles.
and peels and
Yeah.
comes off, and then it just moves everywhere throughout the house.
So I ended up wiping down like all of the cupboards in our kitchen inside and out. Like not the shelving, I didn't go quite that intense, but like the door anyways. Because when you were looking at our kitchen, it looked dirty just because of that film. So I wiped it all down and now it looks nice.
That's
So
right.
that's definitely one thing I don't really do more than once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then I saw you guys had a nice pasta, a nice bella pasta in the
Yeah, nice
park.
tomato pasta.
A nice gnocchi in the park.
Yeah, there's this great little Italian bakery down the street from us, and it's called Rustic Bakery. If anyone is in the Toronto area, I suggest you check it out. It's fantastic. They have like fresh baked bread, gelato, pastries in a hot plate area, and it's just every time you walk in there, you're like, oh, this place is heaven. Smells amazing. But yeah, we ended up getting gnocchi, some pizza. That's a nice prosciutto pizza with olives. There's prosciutto, olives, and onions. Believe it or not.
Minus the onions. That sounds bomb. Minus the onions.
Hard pass.
It was really good. It was really good. And then afterwards we went back to get some of our son's favorite ice cream, which is also my favorite ice cream. Kind of spoiled him early on in his life.
Yeah.
Which kind?
Yeah, what kind?
Yeah, we're fans are dying to know.
Pistachio gelato. Yeah.
It is his favorite. He will tell you that.
So yeah, after whatever it was, 2 episodes ago, Jess and I were talking about how your family used to have La Paloma.
Yeah.
I never told her that. Like, I guess it just doesn't come up, right? So it's pretty cool. I mean, when she's listening and it's like, I didn't know this about Rob, and so it's nice. Anyway, so yeah, have I tried that flavor?
I got it when we went to Florence.
Yeah, but
so
have I tried?
I don't know if you tried some or not. You probably got vanilla. Like we go to Italy to get gelato, gets vanilla.
Does it count? Does it not count?
No, you got to get like lemon or pistachio, like
lemon's
the good Italian flavors.
I'm paying euros now, and you want me to? I don't know. Yeah, we got something in Venice, right?
Yep. Oh, I had fig gelato in Venice, and it was very nice.
I sampled a Moretti in Italy.
Yeah.
Nice, a fine Italian McDonald's beer, actually. I think it's Moretti.
I forget what
Moretti.
Something like that.
Anyways,
so this past week, I completed those 2 courses I was talking about with Seneca. So that's great. And I got to go through this workbook here and do the exam. So it was actually pretty cool, man. Sitting in a live classroom environment, and I had a live instructor. All these, I saw like the group was like 150 people in this Microsoft Teams chat that I was part of, and I just felt like a student again. Like I just had an instructor, and he was going through the theory and all that, and I'm just like.
My favorite part is the night before. Rob looks at me and he goes, "I'm just about to go make dinner," and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh yeah, babe, like you got to make dinner tomorrow night because I got the course." And I looked at him and I'm like, "Oh, just like every other night." This is nothing new.
Specifically tomorrow night, he's busy.
You cannot count on.
You can't. You absolutely. It's all on you. All right. Hope you're up for the task.
I like how you peeked over my curtain too one night and you're like, if you want to order food, that's okay too. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah. For those who are listening to the podcast, we're sitting in front of a curtain, which is used as
backdrop.
Terry's backdrop for her business.
It looks so good. I know
Yeah,
we've
it looks
used
real.
it for Zoom. The last time we were on, the four of us were on Zoom
Yeah.
one time. It was like that pot behind your left shoulder, Rob.
Yeah.
Is
Yep.
like it looks like you could pick it off.
Yeah.
There
It
you
would be
go.
like if you picked it off, that'd be a cool magic trick.
Here, I'll just
pluck.
Hold on.
TikTok idea for you.
Oh, Terry, how did you
What?
have that ready? I guess for those listening, there's a pod, and Terry actually just plucked a pod off of it that looked real.
Wow.
Well done.
It is, it's my desk succulent. So
Yeah,
There
nice.
you go.
Yeah, I mean that's so. What's the next step then for the course? So you do the exam. How long until that happens?
That's right. Yeah. So I got to book I got to do the actual lab work throughout this workbook, which I thought was going to be kind of ridiculous, but it's not too bad. It's like about 60 pages. So I'm going to do that first and then book the exam 2 weeks out, write it, and get a Microsoft Azure fundamentals course, which is like basically a first level exam that you would get for their cloud technology. So yeah, pretty excited to start that track and get deeper into that. Because I've worked with cloud products all the time, but it's also good to just, get certified and prove that you know the material. And there's tons of stuff in there that I learned that I didn't know. So
if you're going to be working on stuff and learning, you might as well have the certificate to back you up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So our workout group has grown, man. 2 more people.
Yeah, so we added.
I think the first rule of our daily workout group is to not talk about our daily workout group.
I feel like that's all you guys talk about on this.
Yeah, we constantly we owe a lot of fines for breaking the first rule of the group.
No, but yeah, shout out to Rob and Dale, who joined yesterday. For our daily workout group. Glad to have you here if you're listening.
Good job, boys.
Yeah, excited to see their more so Rob's progress, because Dale was in our last 30-day challenge, and it was his idea. Actually, it was the one to donate the money to cancer, and then now Rob's joined, and it's gonna be fun to see the progression. I gotta give. Speaking of the workout group, last week I said I would update this week on my skipping, because I got the skipping rope.
That's right.
Here, it was a disaster. I tried it today. So I started a timer, and I think by the time I landed my first full rotation, let's call it, it was like 5 seconds in, because I was doing it in the garage. And then, I don't know, I couldn't get maybe 20 seconds max. I won't even go 30 before I would trip and step on the rope. So I would start over. And then, I don't know, I couldn't, after a while, I was maybe thinking about it too much, and I would stop, and getting to a minute was hard. I don't know how, so I think Dale actually was, another guy, I'll call him Andrew, in our daily workouts chat, was, he was saying he does 3 minutes straight, ooh, good for him, because that was tough. So hopefully can improve on that. But that's my skipping update. Hopefully I'll update next week on the skipping section of the podcast, see how what the progress is.
I remember when I tried 9-round for a little while, and one of their spots was to jump rope for, I think it was 5-minute intervals, and then you moved. Oh my god. You remember skipping as a kid or whatever, and you're like,
jump rope.
It'll be fun. Let's go. It should, no problem. I know how to do it. And you die. It is so hard.
Yeah, it's hard. For those that don't know, 9-round is a circuit type of gym where you hop between 9 rounds.
Yeah, and
different exercises.
And they focus on kickboxing and boxing and that sort of stuff too, which is what appealed to me. But yeah, doing one of their cardio stations with a skipping rope. Oh, and I think that was the first station I did too, and I was like, no more.
It's funny. So I don't know how, by the way, I don't know how jump rope for heart was a thing. There's no way that students were just skipping on loop for hours. Like, what are they skipping for 40 seconds? And then it's like a 3-hour like go get cookie and juice marathon. I don't remember it, but I remember doing jump rope for hard. I was thinking about it. I'm like, how did that even work back in the day? Like, there's no way anyone was skipping that full time. But so I ordered the skipping rope on Amazon, and I go in and tell Jess, to our other spare room there, and I say, hey, I ordered a skipping rope on Amazon. She goes, why would you do that and not ask me? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I wanted it. It was $11. Who cares? She's like, I have one right here. She literally pulls out a skipping rope as if she was ready for it. For me to say this to her. Like, we didn't have this conversation downstairs. Like, it was right there. It was too perfect. It was pretty
Wow,
funny.
you gotta be kidding me. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
pretty funny.
And
She
guess
just
what? It
pulled
was
it out
still
and
in
just-
the package.
Still in the original
I was
package.
gonna say, just pulled it out and just blew the dust off.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah, she's like, actually, I think because you got it. How did you get it?
It was like a gift with purchase. I bought something. It was probably like workout clothes.
Yeah, and then they were like, good luck.
Yeah. LOL. We know you're just using this to sit on the couch. Here's a skip rope.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Jess, one of the things I actually wanted to ask you was, being Jim's wife and all, how would you comment on like seeing our 30-day challenge, like completing our 30-day challenge and seeing Jim's progress through that, and or even just starting his workout regime?
Yeah, no, I think it was awesome. We both talk about it's probably the healthiest he's been like in his life. Working out and eating right and not drinking. That challenge was really good. You seemed happy, you seemed thriving. Like, not that you aren't usually, but it was definitely a positive.
It was a different gear to be
Yeah.
in. Not necessarily like ahead, but
Yeah. And you've always been super like dedicated. Like, if you put your mind to doing something, you're doing it. So if it's a 30-day challenge, like, he's doing it all 30 days because it's a pride thing for you,
So,
I think, right? So
I will,
it's
I
good.
will
Yeah.
say, in terms of like the challenge, there was,
Yeah.
it would have taken a lot, I think, for me to not do it. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely, I will say, there are things where I've been like, I don't know, get partway in and
Yeah.
not. But I mean,
But it was good because then I'm lazy. I'll say it straight up. But like, he was going for walks and stuff every day, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna come with you. So I went for walks every day. So it was not only your guys' challenge, it also made me be better, right? So
That's great.
and not
Yeah.
even just that too, but actually, so hold on, I'll ask you a question in a second, but not even just the working out part and us going for walks and whatnot, but also the eating, like nutrition,
Yeah.
way better, because a lot of the time, so I don't know how to make anything really until this year, and Jess works on a weird schedule because technically her whole team works on the West Coast, so she doesn't finish often until after I do. So a lot of times we have dinner, it's kind of late.
And I don't feel like making
And she
anything.
doesn't feel like making it. So like when that happens, we're like, well, we can just order fast food. But because of the 30-day challenge, that was not allowed. So we did we did only home cooking.
Yeah.
So my question to you,
And he
Jeff,
learned how to cook, which was
rate your trust in me, where you sit in the living room and I can't phone a friend. How much faith do you put in me on a scale of 1 to 10? Keep in mind my parents might listen, so
in like cooking a meal start to finish.
no, I'm just kidding. Give me your honest answer.
But in what? In cooking a meal start to finish?
Yeah, like following a good food recipe. That's we usually
like,
order.
do
good
you
food.
have the written instructions in front
The
of you?
written instructions are down.
Yeah.
No phoning in to you in the other room. See, there's a hesitation. The hesitation is not good already.
It depends on the complexity of a recipe, but I'm gonna go like a 6.
Oh, that's a passing grade.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm
Yeah.
sweating.
here it is, May 18th.
You know the like the Schitt's Creek episode when they're like, you folded in, David. You fold in the cheese.
Yes.
You know that one? Like that's
That's
Yeah.
great, man.
like
That's
he'd have the things and be like, I don't know what this means. Some of them.
But
Once you learn it, now
that's a
you can
6.
do them.
That's
Yeah.
a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
And before the challenge, maybe a 1.
That's an improvement, a significant.
Wouldn't have been great. Yeah.
It wouldn't have been. We would have wasted money for sure.
I'm
Because I would have done
just-
stuff, and you would have been like, well, I know where to put this into
Yeah.
the garbage or the green bin.
Yeah.
I had to do that a few times when you were learning to cook.
Yeah, that's true. I will admit, like dating when we first started dating, or I guess first started living together.
Yeah,
I wasn't as good as a cook as I was. And
you
I
were
am
not
now.
a cook.
How long have you guys been living together?
We started living together in 2012.
That's
so
right, when we first moved to
almost
Barrie.
10 years.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. There's this one dish that I always remember will be the worst dish I made in the morning, and it was absolutely awful. And I agree with Terry's face right now that she's making. Was my dad used to like make like eggs with salsa in the morning, and it was like delicious.
Yeah.
It was always awesome. Tasted amazing. I tried to make the same thing, and I just went too much on the salsa side, and it was garbaggio, and just had to toss the whole thing. It was so nasty.
I remember watching you make it, and I had to leave the kitchen
Yeah.
because I've made that recipe before too, and you use like
Salsa eggs.
a tablespoon of salsa.
Yeah, it was.
And you go and you pour like a good almost half the jar, and I went, oh no. And I left you to learn, and you finish, and you're like, you came into the family room, and you're like, so they're done. And I went, okay, and you're like, I don't think they're good.
I don't think they're good.
I said, should we throw them out? He goes, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
So bad.
Yeah.
It was so
I make a
bad.
mean bowl of cereal. Let me tell you.
But your cooking skills have come such a long way.
Thank
like
you.
You've made some
Mhm.
amazing meals. So, everybody starts somewhere.
What would you say is like
Except
one
for
of
on his
your
exam
favorite-
night, he is unavailable in the kitchen.
And I am allowed to order food if I need to.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, what would you say is like one of your favorite meals that I've cooked for us?
I mean, anything you do on the barbecue is always really good, except when you were first
Grill
starting to
master.
learn how to cook sausages, because you just
I used to burn them.
overcooked them. Like
Yeah.
they were so dry.
Yeah.
But after learning that, I would say that you really are like a good grill master.
Rob is the king. When I picture you next to the barbecue, and I think I may have said this in the podcast, but you have this aura about you when you're at the grill. Actually, the day that you guys announced that you were having a son
Mhm.
or a baby was, I think, your parents' backyard.
Yep.
And I just remember you being at the grill, like, for hours, and it's just like you were just the man. You were the legend that day. It was such a cool, like, there was something about like you just wanted to be near the guy. It was pretty cool.
I
But yeah,
get
agree
that a
with you,
lot.
Steve.
Yeah, I get that a lot from my dad. So
Yeah.
Oh, your dad! Your dad's the only person that I could picture upstaging you, where you would just be a legend, and then he would come in and be like, "Robert, what are you doing here?" And then he would just like set you straight. Even if it was perfect, and he would take the crown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. I remember when I was a kid, 12 years old, 7-year-old, whatever, like just being beside him and just watching him grill, like just being in the backyard and just like standing there, just watching this guy work, and
Yeah.
just one of my favorite moments growing up as a kid.
Aw.
You get the odd sip of beer
Well,
every once in a while. I think that's probably why. I
that's
stood
what
up.
you were hanging around for.
Don't tell your mother.
yeah. But no, that's it's happy for my dad. I absolutely get that grilling skill from him.
So I
In
guess
fact, I think when we got this place, we have a front concrete patio. We're like, oh, this is perfect. I can put a nice barbecue there,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons why we looked for a place that had like at least a patio or a backyard.
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you asked Jess, like, Terry, did you see a similar, experience in Rob from January? Because January was our big like hardcore month.
Yeah. Again, same thing. I really did. It was nice to help keep me in line because, and I'm sure you guys can relate, it's hard to always be the strong one for each other when you're both exhausted. So, you give in to indulgences a lot more. I find in general, when Rob is taking part in a challenge, he is much more like externally motivated to stick to his goals. So if you have a challenge with your friends, you are like 100 times more likely to stick to your health and fitness goals than when you're not into those challenges. You
Right.
were going for walks every day. You were hitting those 10K every day. You were exhausted and you'd say, I'm going for a walk. That was very inspiring to me, and it got me up and moving too. I was doing the Just Dance videos because I like those.
Yeah.
But
I have that too.
Jess
Yeah.
does those. I tried it once with her.
Not your
I
thing.
might be better at cooking than Just Dance.
I like that game.
It was so
I
Yeah.
really like that game.
Jess used to do like when I first met her, she was part of the McMaster dance team.
Oh,
She
cool.
did dance in high school.
I didn't know that.
I danced for 20 years of my life, like since I was 3 years old.
So she picks it up a
Wow.
little bit
Yeah.
faster than I do
Just a
when
tad.
we're doing it. So part of me is embarrassed, but at the same time, she can't really see me because you know the way that it works is. But I know. But the thing is, like when you're both doing it together, you can tell that the other person is way off, and
Yeah.
that's me. So she's like, get ready because it's gonna be the bow and arrow thing, and I'm like, what? So,
We didn't do versus mode. We did the cooperative point gathering mode, so that
there was no
I
point
see
in the
that.
verses at this time. Yeah.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
But
that.
I also got a game for. Do you guys play Just Dance on Switch, or what do you play it on?
Xbox.
Xbox.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Use like a Kinect camera.
I got a Nintendo Switch game, and it's called Ring Fit, and it has this like ring with the controllers, and you can do like arm presses, and you do running on the spot, and like little squats and things like that. So I got that game to do some like at home exercises
I may
whatever.
have mentioned it before, but that was a better explanation than what I had mentioned. And actually, so you know, to Terry, what you were saying about Rob hitting 10K, my mom came. So last week we didn't see her for Mother's Day, but she came this Saturday, which was great.
It was a beautiful day. Oh
and
my gosh.
It was so nice. And we went to Bayfront Park in Hamilton, which is it's like a small kind of loop around, but there's water, you know, it's nice. There's the boat club, Hamilton Yacht Club is there. And anyway, I did end up hitting 10K on that day. And I don't know how you did it for an entire month. Like that was a really good goal. But anyways, it was cool to have my mom there for the day, and she made a soup that I used to love, and she brought that, and it was the first time Jess got to try it. So she gave us the recipe. We're going to try it out. But I was happy that Jess liked it because she never had it before, and I've been talking about this soup for 7 years or something.
So yeah, it was delicious.
It was pretty cool. That'll make our friend Nick happy.
What kind of soup was it?
It was
potato bacon.
Yeah, like potato bacon, and then you shred like cheese on top.
Oh my god, that's
healthy soup.
Of course.
Oh, it's very healthy. Yes.
Yeah.
And then she saved some for my grandpa, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But yeah, so that was kind of our weekend. It was just a nice day to do that. We actually walked after my mom left. It was still pretty early. We ended up walking to an Italian type bakery just down the street. So it's funny that you guys would mention that.
Yeah, we did the same thing on Saturday.
Both our eyes were like, hey, we did the same thing on Saturday. And
Rob, you'll laugh at this.
Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was so mad because I was all excited. I bought this thing of bocconcini cheese, and we have like a cooler bag that we use for groceries when we walk, right, to keep the stuff when we're walking back and forth. And I emptied all the groceries when we got home, except for I left the bocconcini in the bag, and I didn't realize until the next day it was like over 24 hours, and I was heartbroken because all I wanted was this cheese, and I just left it out all night. And I was like, Rob will relate to my pain here.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's terrible.
So sorry.
Yeah.
I like bocconcini. It's like cheese I like, but I didn't feel the heartbreak. Jess is like, I can't believe this. I'm like, you know, it's unfortunate, but whatever.
Very emotional.
And guess what? We ordered Rob. I think I sent a picture to the group chat. But what did we have for dinner on Saturday night? From an Italian bakery. A nice. That would go very well.
Oh yeah, sorry, a nice lasagna.
A lasagna, yes.
Sorry.
So we had
Bella lasagna.
We had a nice lasagna. Rob and I went to Ottawa, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and the whole joke the entire weekend was us just on the hunt for a good lasagna with another friend, Brendan.
Yeah, we were known as the Breakfast Club, where we actually that was the very first time I had a martini.
Martini,
yeah, nice morning martini, and then afterwards followed by a nice heavy lasagna for lunch.
Yeah,
Was
exactly.
it lunch or dinner? I can't remember.
It was a meal.
It was like 11 or no, sorry, it wasn't 11. It was maybe 2 o'clock, I want to say.
Nice.
And then actually, so to cap off the weekend, obviously we saw you guys for a bit again. We another buddy of ours got the new Jackbox update, and we played that on Zoom, which was pretty fun. And
Mhm.
That was fun.
like we see each other, the four of us, more than some of the other people, and it was just nice to kind of, anything like that. I crave, like, maybe not crave, but I really miss it. So I was never gonna miss out on that. But yeah, I couldn't believe it, because apparently if you have a kid, you show up on time, because 9 o'clock sharp, the only ones that were on there were the ones with kids, and then everybody else came in 20 minutes later, as is our high school fashion. Late.
Yeah.
Carter, as they
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
I was just
totally.
about to do that. Yeah.
Carter. Yeah.
So we're approaching 50 minutes here in our episode, so I figured we just hammer off some would you rather questions,
All right,
just to have some little fun and
let's
entertainment
run them
here.
off.
All right.
Run them off.
So I think what we'll do is I'll ask you guys the first question, then I'll ask Terry the second question, and we'll just go back and forth. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just ask the wives these questions. What do you think? And
Okay.
you guys can talk about it.
Sure.
All
Okay.
right. Does that work? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, for Jess, would you rather have one real get out of jail free card or a key that opens any door?
So the obvious answer here is a key that opens any door, because if you're in jail, you can let yourself out with the key, for one.
That
And
was
it's not that hard to stay out of jail. So if you have a master key, that'll let you do whatever you want.
Yeah, like, just don't commit a crime.
Yeah.
At that
Yeah.
point.
I think this is technically you get one free crime. I think that's the whole.
Although,
Oh,
With
okay.
the right key, maybe you don't get caught. I don't know.
but if you're opening doors that don't belong to you, that's breaking and entering, and that's illegal. So you are going to need to get out of jail free card at some point.
But you got the
Yeah,
key, so you can just.
Yeah, no, I agree with
Yeah,
Jen.
but you're breaking the law.
Mm.
You're going into places that aren't yours. All right, so now I'll ask the next one to Terry.
Okay, go ahead.
Would you rather live in Antarctica or the Sahara Desert? Sahara?
Sahara?
Is that a tomato, or did I mess that up?
I don't know. If I have adequate provisions, I would rather go to the desert, because I'm no good in cold.
I was gonna say you're not gonna live amongst the penguins, your favorite animal.
There was a brief moment where I thought I might go be a penguin, but realistically, I would die in the cold a lot faster than in the desert, provided I had adequate provisions.
I don't know. You can't build an igloo out of sand.
No, but you can have a tent and water and enjoy like the dry heat.
Yeah,
That's
it
cute.
depends on what you're given. Like if it's like you get 10 items to pick from 100, and you get to choose one or the other, then I think that makes I don't know. But if it's just like if you're just living there and like you're gonna survive, then
Yeah, like
like
if
if
I'm
you
just
get
lost in
AC
the
in
middle.
your home, but you have to live in the desert,
Okay.
I'd probably choose that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. Jess, would you rather spend the rest of your life with a sailboat as your home or an RV as your home?
Ooh, good one.
That is a good one. Yeah, so I actually grew up with a sailboat. So my instinct is to say sailboat because I'm used to that.
Wow.
But a sailboat limits you to waterways, where an RV you can travel to inland areas, which is kind of cool. But then you're stuck continental. Like a boat, you could just go wherever you want. So yeah, boat wins, I think.
Let's just head out to across the old Atlantic or Pacific
Sure.
in a nice sailboat.
It'll be great.
Yeah, easy
It'll be
peasy.
great.
Easy peas.
We'll try doing that in an RV. I bet you the sailboat would make it farther.
Might have a point there. I mean, I could argue that the sailboat's not really going to make it far on land.
Can
It
I
also depends,
drive-
like, if you live in I don't know, not Canada. Like, we live in Canada, so an RV makes more sense because you just can't
Yeah.
go anywhere with a boat. But if you're in Europe, you could obviously travel port to port and go around, or
Mhm.
even Central America, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like that would maybe be cooler.
Go up and down the coast.
I just
All
want to
right,
know if I can drive my RV onto the sailboat.
Right.
Right.
But then you need a sailboat.
Yeah, but it
You
doesn't.
You can borrow Jess's sailboat.
We'll
Just hitch it.
we'll go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. All right. So, Terry, would you
Yes.
rather have all your clothes fit perfectly or have the most comfortable pillow, blankets, and sheets in existence? What is this?
Yeah,
I
I
only
think-
read the first half.
I feel like it's obvious to say perfectly fitting clothes, but maybe that's because I've just been oddly shaped for most of my life.
I wouldn't say that.
And it's a pain. Could you imagine though? Like imagine I've been with Eugene shopping. And I have seen the fitting room filled with 40 pairs of jeans, and you come out and go, let's just go.
That is true.
Could you
You know
imagine?
what?
Oh.
That is true. That
You
is
know.
true.
Oh,
Yeah,
we should have you back to dive into the jean shopping alone. This is I want to hear
Oh,
about
man.
this.
So
Yeah.
definitely perfectly fitting clothes.
Jeans
Yeah.
shopping is the worst.
We
I
don't
hate
have that
jean
experience at all. Like, I don't even try them on, do we? Like we're just
You
like
don't because
boom.
you've been the same size since you were 14.
maybe,
You know they're gonna fit.
maybe actually my uncles make fun of me all the time for that. Why did you hit a size, man?
Beautiful.
Jerks always bullying me.
All right, Jess, would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget or stay in only one country for a year but live in luxury?
I'm gonna have to go with the unpopular answer here and honestly say the luxury and stay in one country.
How is that unpopular?
I feel like people would say like, oh, that's materialistic or whatever. Don't you want to travel and see the world? But like you have every other year in your life to go travel. Like why not live like a king for 1 year? I'll take it.
I agree with that because
Yeah.
you don't just travel the next year not on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
If you're living in a
Pawn
luxury,
off some of your riches
Sell,
from
yeah.
your luxury
There you go.
house, and then you can travel even more. Yeah.
I agree with that answer.
Yeah.
What country would you live in?
Ooh, good
Oh,
answer.
it's got to be
Ooh.
Italy.
Yeah.
Italy or
Italy.
Japan would be like my
Mm.
top choices.
Oh,
what about
Japan's something.
what about you guys? What would your
I
not-
would do
not- not
so-
Canada?
Yeah. Luxury for sure, and I think I would actually pick Japan. Japan's like always been one of my like bucket list countries. I constantly watch Japan like YouTube videos all the time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like there's this whole thing of like on YouTube now where you can watch like just regular walking videos. Like some guy just has
Yeah.
a camera on his chest, he's just walking through streets. But like
Yeah.
I'll look at sites I want to visit, like Kyoto. I always wanted to go to Kyoto, and like I'll type in Kyoto walking video, and
Mhm.
there's just tons of these videos that I'll just check out.
They are
So
actually very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Please.
I would
Oh, sorry.
go. I don't know where I'd go. The two places that I've always wanted to go are Switzerland and New Zealand. And I think if I had to choose between the two to live in luxury, I'd probably go to New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, I feel like for me, when we went on our honeymoon, I loved the UK. So I would choose Scotland or Ireland or some place like that to live in, or I would go to Australia or someplace like that. And also, I wanted to say, for a previous episode, we should insert the clip of Rob saying that he struggles to go to bed because he's on endless Reddit loops.
Yeah.
And who knows, like he goes down the rabbit hole. Here he is watching a guy's camera walking down the street of Japan. And then he wonders, why am I tired the next day? This is the reason why. Got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true. I'll stumble down the YouTube rabbit hole for quite some
Wow,
time.
he went left today.
Yeah.
Usually he goes right here. All right. What do we got here? We're on 6. Would you rather your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a giraffe?
I just picture it so much. It would have to be a donkey. I think that is more practical. I can't feed a giraffe, and I would.
I've
get
never
back
seen
to-
anybody ride a giraffe. Do they?
You carry the
Do
ladder
they have
with you?
passenger capabilities?
I don't
like-
know because they're kind of like
There's-
slanted.
And
Right?
they're
Like, their
big.
back is pretty slanted.
He picks you up with your mouth and
He's
puts,
like,
puts
"There
you on
you
a
go,
bed. There you go.
friend." No, donkey
Oh.
in a hat for sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, isn't the giraffe one of the animals that sleeps the least in the entire world or
I'm not
something
sure.
like that?
That's a fantastic
Don't quote
one.
me on that. We'll have to look it up. Maybe Rob look it up because I think it takes so much effort for them to get to the ground that they just don't do it very often.
Oh, that's interesting.
I could be
I'm gonna
dead
look it
wrong
up.
though.
Has anyone read Untrapped? All right, Jess.
That's
Would
listen.
would you rather only be able to use a fork, no spoon, or only be able to use a spoon, no fork?
You gotta go spoon here.
Spoon all day.
Yeah.
How are you gonna eat a soup? A nice potato bacon soup?
What
With a
can
fork?
what can you eat with a fork that you can't eat with a spoon?
Yeah,
Nothing.
that's
There's nothing. Yeah.
That's why, like, I'm pretty sure it was like a spoon and knife came. The fork came way later in all
Yeah.
of civilization
mm,
Spoon is
because
acceptable.
it was a luxury.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Jim is actually correct on the short sleeping of giraffes. It's on average about 4.6 hours per day.
That's
They
it.
can sleep standing up as well as lying down, but
Mhm.
they do it in like really short spurts. So you're
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, they sleep like Kramer
Yeah.
because also they're very vulnerable, so they don't do it very often. Just
Yeah.
quick naps. Not just a hat rack, my friends. Full of non-useful information as to the giraffe sleep cycle. Anyways, on to question 8. Terry, would you rather have constantly dry eyes or a constantly runny nose? See, this is a much better question.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, if I had to choose, I would go dry eyes because I think they're both uncomfortable for me. But if I had a constantly runny nose, everybody else could see it and be like, "What's like, ew, what's with your nose?" Whereas my dry eyes are just me suffering for eternity.
Yeah, I would go
I
dry
like that.
too.
I like that pick. It's it's not like a self-conscious thing, because even when your nose is kind of runny, which hasn't happened to me since COVID, like we just don't go anywhere. But
It's the longest I haven't had a cold in my whole life.
you just always think that someone's like, oh wow, like you just think something's worse than it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like your nose is running worse than it is, and you need a Kleenex, and then it's never that bad. But you just assume that everyone's like, this is not a good look for you, in my opinion.
I agree.
All right, and the last and final question, Jess: would you rather have a flying carpet or a car that can drive underwater?
Flying carpet all day.
Hey.
Underwater is scary as hell. I don't need to see what's going on.
I feel like it'd be slow. It'd be slow to drive underwater, right?
Yeah.
If
Plus, like
you have to be in the car.
you have to be in an area where there's lots of water to be able to drive under it. Like I feel like a flying carpet has more like utility. Like you can go wherever you want.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, that's all the time we have for today, guys. It's been absolutely fun hanging out with you, Jess and Terry. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, guys.
Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.